Objective 48, straight lines. We already started to look at this in our last lesson, and you should have all of this already in your notes. We're going to move on from the gradient concept and look at another property of a straight line. So straight line has two main concepts which we study. One is how steep that line is, and the other one is where it crosses the y-axis. So the y-axis is the vertical line, and this one crosses at -1. Now, the equation of this line is y equals 3x minus 1, and the -1 at the end matches up with where it crosses the y-axis. Why is that? Well, when we drew our table of values, we put in when the x value is 0. When the x value is 0, that is along the y-axis. The y-axis, the x value is always 0 on the y-axis. So when you put in x equals 0 into the equation, you get -1. The x term, the 3 zeros, disappears, and you're left with -1. So always this number at the end will give you what y is when x is 0, or in other words, will give you where it crosses the y-axis. So let's write a little bit about the y-intercept. Let's just first of all put it into here. Just put a circle around it and call that c, and that is equal to the y-intercept. And then write down below in our notes what that is. So make sure you have down the y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis, and also we call this c. So far we've drawn the line y equals 3x plus 1, 3x minus 1 it was. And the lines that you've looked at so far would have been in the format y equals mx plus c. The m, hopefully you can remember from earlier, last lesson, it stands for the gradient. And the c, just said from the graph, that is your y-intercept. If I just go back one more time to show you that. This line here, we drew y equals 3x minus 1. Its gradient, how steep it was, when we did the gradient all around here, we got 3, which matches up with the number in front of the x, the coefficient of x. And the y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis, which is -1 in this case. That matches up with the number that's added or subtracted at the end of the equation. It doesn't have to be at the end, it's just a constant number. So it could be at the start, but it's not the x term, it's the number on its own. So if you take this example down in your notes, write down the gradient and y-intercept of these lines. So the first line tells you to get the y value, it's equal to 5 times the x value plus 7, and that's generally how you would generate points. But this number here tells you that the gradient is 5, and the number here tells you that the y-intercept equals 7. If we look at the second example, it's a little bit different because the order, the x term normally comes first and the number second, but sometimes when we're taking away an x term, we put it at the end. So the gradient this time is it's the number in front of the x, which is here. So the gradient m is -1. And the y-intercept is the number, it's not attached to the x. So that's your c, and it is 10. So to summarize, m is the gradient, and c is the y-intercept. And you can read them off from the equation of the line. Now before we go any further, let's quickly have a look at, in a bit more detail, that idea of the y-intercept. So if we draw in the line y equals 2x plus 1, the plus 1 at the end shows you that the y-intercept crosses at 1. If I make another line, y equals 2x plus 3, you can see it's the same steepness because the gradient, the m, the number in front of the x is the same. But now because I put a plus 3 there, it crosses the y-axis at 3. Have a think if I put in y equals 2x plus 5, what would that look like? Yep, it's the same steepness, so it's parallel, but because I put +5 in there, it crosses the y-axis at 5. So all the number does at the end is tells you where it crosses the y-axis, and effectively what that does is it moves the line up or down the y-axis. So then if I have a y-intercept that's negative, if I put in y equals 2x minus 10, it's going to move it way down to -10 on the y-axis for where it cuts. So y equals 2x minus 10 minus 10. Okay, let's see if you can see that. Yeah, way down there. So the y-intercept is simply where it cuts the y-axis. Now this part's just to help your understanding. There's a question in it in the textbook, but you wouldn't probably use this in the exam. You would just use a table of values to plot these. But if you can do it without a table of values, it shows you know what you're doing. So I'd encourage you to try and follow this along. No need to take anything into your notes for this wee section. If we look at the equation y equals 2x minus 4, I can see the gradient is 2 and the y-intercept is minus 4. So straight away I know one point that's on that graph, and that's minus 4, or 0 minus 4, where it cuts the y-axis at. But I also know, because the gradient's 2, that it should go 1 to the right and then 2 up, and then 1 to the right and 2 up, 1 to the right and 2 up. It should follow that pattern because the gradient is 2, which means it goes up 2 every time it goes 1 across, and that creates a line, well, those points create a line, which is the line y equals 2x minus 4. So that's a way of doing it without using a table of values. Try that again. Y equals 3x plus 1. I can see the gradient is 3 and the y-intercept is 1. So first of all, y-intercept 1. And then if I go 1 to the right, because the gradient's 3, the steepness is going to go up 3 each time. So 1 to the right, 3 up, 1 to the right, 3 up. Okay, now excuse just for speed, I'm not drawing the straightest of lines. So we can see that's line y equals 3x plus 1. And then finally we've got y equals 5x plus 2. So there the gradient is 5 and the y-intercept is 2. So it's going to start on the y-axis at 2, so here. And the gradient's 5, which means quite steep, 1 across and 5 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So up to here, 1 to the right and 5 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our straight line will run like so. If I'm not sure about where it is here, how accurate that is, I can go backwards. I can go 5 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 to the right. So it should go through at that point. Maybe more accurate. Okay, and that line's the line y equals 5x plus 2. So just by observing where the line cuts the y-axis, or where it starts in a sense, start there and then move it up according to the gradient to get the other points. A lot of these objectives will all run through each other, so I'm just going to keep this one very short, 49. Just as a fact, and we'll look at it later on in later examples. You need to memorize and know that parallel lines have the same gradient. Perpendicular lines then, and perpendicular lines is M4. If two lines are perpendicular, then their two gradients multiply together to give -1. This means that one gradient is the negative reciprocal of the other. Now, those sentences might be hard to understand, so I'm going to try to explain to you what that means. If we call one of the gradients, the gradient of the first line M1 and the gradient of the second line M2, if those two lines are perpendicular, then if you multiply the gradients together, you would get -1. If we rearrange that, we could say that m1 would be equal to negative 1 over m2. So just divided both sides by m2 there. So because the two gradients multiply together to give negative 1, two gradients multiply together to give negative 1, if you rearrange, this means that one gradient is the negative reciprocal, so negative, and then 1 over means the reciprocal of the other. Let's show you what all that means and to help you give a bit of time to get your head around it. Let's say we have the line y equals 2x plus 1. The gradient of that line is 2. The negative reciprocal of that line is negative half. So 1 over 2, and then the negative reciprocal, negative 1 over 2. So if I draw another line and I make the gradient a negative reciprocal, so negative a half, that's actually negative 0.5. It's the same thing as writing negative a half. X, and then plus. Now the end bit's just the y-intercept, so I can just put any number down. So let's just put down 4. You can see that those two lines are perpendicular. Remember, perpendicular means that they have means they meet at 90 degrees. If I change this to, let's go with 4. So 4x, they're not perpendicular anymore. To make it perpendicular, I would need the gradient to be the negative reciprocal of 4. The negative reciprocal of 4 would be 1 over 4, and then negative, so negative a quarter, or negative 0.25. And you can see again there, if I can get it right, yeah, we've got 90 degrees. So that's just a rule for you to remember as well, that one gradient is a negative reciprocal of the other if the two lines are perpendicular. You need to memorize those two facts before you can really do any questions moving forward. So take down this example. Write down an example of a line which is A, parallel to y equals 5x plus 1. If a line is parallel to this line, it has to have the same gradient. So the answer will have to be y equals, it has to have a 5 in front of the x to be parallel. The intercept doesn't matter, it can be any number. 1 would give you the same line, so we're looking for a different line, but it could be 2 or 3 or 4 or minus 50, doesn't matter, as long as the gradients are the same. Part B, write down an example of a line which is perpendicular to y equals 5x plus 1. Well, this time, generally your format is y equals mx plus c. When we're talking about parallel or perpendicular, we're talking about the gradient. The c doesn't matter, so I can just call it anything, let's say 10. That just moves something up or down, doesn't change its gradient. The m has to be perpendicular to the 5. The gradient has to be perpendicular. Has to be the negative reciprocal. So if you've got this one here, you say the other one is minus 1 over it. So 5 minus 1 over 5 is the gradient. And you can check that as well by saying 5 times negative a fifth should give you minus 1. The two gradients times together should give you negative 1. To finish off, we're going to look at just some awkward cases where the lines are just not as straightforward and the equations are a little bit different. So these are lines of the form ax plus by equals c. So if we take this into our notes, let's see if we can find the gradient and y-intercept of the line 3x plus y equals 6. We prefer it to be y equals mx plus c. So what we can do is rearrange this equation. If you can remember doing a bit of that in third year. The 3x we don't want on the left hand side. So what we can do is take the 3x off both sides, and that would give us y equals minus 3x plus 6. Now it is in the form y equals mx plus c. You can then say that the gradient m is minus 3 and the y-intercept where it crosses the y-axis c is 6. It's also slightly different for drawing these lines. If you're to draw or plot them, if you're to do that you'd want a table of values, and the equation is 3x plus y equals 6. Now if you do 0, 1, 2 table, it can be easy for x is 0. So the way I think of it, when x is 0, that 3x would be 0. So you'd be left with y equals 6. So your answer is y equals 6. However, when you then have to go to x equals 1, you'd have 3 1s plus y equals 6. Or when x is 2, 3 2s plus y equals 6. You have an equation to solve every time. It's a wee bit annoying, to be honest. It's better if you have it rearranged and you can put it into that table easily. That's a fine method. So if you get that, just rearrange it like that and then just use your 0, 1, 2 table. Another wee quick way, which can be useful if they give you certain values, sometimes it's nice to do it this way. You've already got that one answer when x is 0. When x is 0, 3x would be 0, so y is 6. And then think about just, well, what if y was 0 instead? Then if y is 0, the right thing, if y is 0, 3x is 6. If 3x is 6, x would be 2. And that gives you 2 points, which you can use to plot your graph. Now I'm only going to sketch it here, but all you need is 2 points. X is 0, y is 6 is there. X is 2, y is 0 is there. And then you can draw your straight line through. And that's it. So that's a quick way to do it. But also using the technique from previous lesson is fine, as long as you rearrange this equation to look like this.